Hi everyone, hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Win right now. Once again, thank you for all the continued support across the channel and everything you do to contribute towards this channel, and obviously your subscription. Thank you for the comments that we're receiving across the videos as well, and obviously your contribution to the Telegram group there. Thank you very much. So diving into Win then, you can see you're hitting a level of consolidation. It did say it was looking good, you're getting back through this and you're marching on, okay, but you are falling back on levels of support right now. Just to confirm that you are in this sort of consolidation range and you are holding up support just like you did down here. Okay, it's going to be something very similar to this, where you sort of went up, you come back down, you tested the 20, you went up again, failed to make that high. Okay, so what you did, you rolled over and you made a low. Okay, and then you lost the support and then you fell back down, and you've basically formed a W bottom there like that, and then you've got the bounce and you've pushed up. Consolidation event. Okay, bit boring, bit flat. Okay, this entire move here was just a level of consolidation, just slowing down. Okay, because that's what you do. You look at the previous chart to see, you move to the left with your charts just to see what's going to sort of happen projectively in this consolidation range. So effectively you made that high there and you marched on and you actually broke that high around 11 days after you made that high. You see that consolidation event there? We sort of just went sideways, looked a bit bad, looked like you were losing support, looked like you were going to zero, but you're not. You just entered a level of consolidation and resetting all these levels, because look just there, right? RSI really high, okay? The RSI is overbought, just there. And what happens when you go through this consolidation event? You know, the momentum in the market just slows down a little bit, and everyone just gets a recheck. Okay, get some of these RSI levels reset, and you can see starting to move up before going on, marching up and making new highs. So you do target the RSI for overbought. Okay, when it's up here overbought, you are effectively looking at that rollover. It's always very indicative of that. So at the moment you can see just here in the current price action. Okay, if we do like that, currently you've had your high, okay, up there, your high. You formed a bearish divergence there, okay, because you've got high, and then you've got a lower high just there and a lower high. So effectively that was a massive signal. I think we've already covered that in this, haven't we? I'm not sure. But then in the price action there, you've got a high, and a higher high. Okay, but in the RSI there, you've got a high, and lower high. And that tells you it's a massive signal. You're looking to roll over. I'm sure I did cover this in the first ever video on Win. That was one of my big indicators to say that you are looking at that blow off top. That rollover was the bearish divergence. Okay, where the RSI is painting a high, lower high, high in the price action. So there's a big signal in itself. Okay, so you can't ignore them. So anyway, you've got that, it's come into play, and now what you've got the RSI that's reset. It's rolled down into this purple box again towards the bottom. Look at that, and it starts to pick up. Do you see that? Picking up, and now it's rolling. It's going mid-level. That's a really good level to be, okay, in the RSI is a really good level. I'm not saying you're not going to not go any lower, okay, because you can see in this consolidation event, okay, you got something very, very similar. So we'll drop that out. That was 11 days, okay. So what we'll do, we'll just mark this up here now, just so we don't lose that information. So you made the high, and we looked at an 11-day consolidation event. Okay, so we'll mark that in the chart just there, roughly around there. Okay, so over 11 days, you're going to see choppy action effectively for Win, because I get a lot of questions. When's it going back up to the moon and stuff like that? Or, you know, no one's got a crystal ball, but what you can do, look at previous levels of consolidation, how long they lasted for, the sort of patterns that they made, to sort of get a gist and an idea of what sort of level events you're looking at. Okay, so 11 days roughly round the 17th of April, you could be looking at Win sort of pushing up after this level of consolidation and reaccumulation, where it starts to march on and break that high. So that's something you target. But as you can see in here, in this consolidation event just here, you went up, you made the high, you come back down, you bounced off the EMA just there, okay, and then you got that little push up, but you failed to make that high, so you rolled over. So that you see the buying's running out of steam. And that's effectively what you're looking at here at the moment, to be honest with you. You're looking at just like it's just running out of steam. So there are little events that happen within this consolidation range that are actually quite tradable, okay. So what you do, one thing you can do is obviously target the in and out between the EMAs, because you can see what happens. It goes in and out the EMAs like that, back to support, falls through, goes up, back to support, falls through, and stuff like that, until it sort of sorts itself out, gets all the levels reset, the MACD reset before marching back on. So that's effectively Win. It's just going to go sideways, okay. But what I'll do, I'll try and give you a couple of trades just to keep an eye on. So what you do, you always zoom in on that. Well, drop that again. I shouldn't do that. I'm going to drop a vertical line in there. Okay, so it's Alt V on your keyboard is a shortcut, or alternatively you go down to the second line there, okay, and then you've got a vertical line. Do you see that? You click vertical line and you just drop it in anyway, and obviously you can move it around, and it just gives you a line there so we can keep for future reference. I'll get rid of that. Okay, so we should be anticipating by roughly 17th of April. If we go through the sort of similar consolidation event as that, it does look like it's going to do something like that at the moment, to be fair. Then you're looking at that sort of area to push on and sort of approach that high up there, okay, which is that sort of level just there at the moment. So you're in this range, you're in this box. So in here, just like I said to you, you've got tradable events, okay, tradable events, and they are basically retracements, just like we did yesterday in the Fibonacci retracement video. There you can drop them, you can zoom in and look at this. So this was effectively a corrective wave, just saying you form that bottom, okay, and then you've gone up in that impulsive wave, and now you're forming a new corrective wave. Well, from there you can drop your fib on that, okay, so you go from the top to the bottom and you can see where you're falling onto support, okay, so you've made the high, and these are where traders potentially drop buy zones, okay. So what you can see, you've gone up in this impulsive wave, you've hit a top, and you're starting to come down in a corrective wave, and as you come down you can see you've hogged this 0382, so you got a couple of bounces off that. Again, really tradable. You buy there, sell on the peak, buy there, sell on the peak, but now you've lost it, okay, you've lost the support of this, okay, and now what you're doing, you're falling, and you look like you're bouncing off this 05, okay. What I would personally do here, I think a good trade would be, is to put some bids in at 0618, okay, not financial advice, because that's the golden ratio, okay. When you fall down there, I would expect, if it was to fall down there, I'm not saying it will, but if you start seeing more of a correction from there, you would see a bounce off that 0618, okay? And always put your bids in sort of roughly 1% higher, because you can see that's what's happening there. Look, it's roughly 1% higher than the line, okay? So there's been some bids going there because they know they're going to get a bounce. Look, and it did bounce. So then people would have put the bids in there to sell. Do you get what I mean? And that was like a sort of little 3 or 4% trade on some boring side action, and that's what people do. So at the moment you can say that if it was to bounce off this 0618, correct anymore, okay, bounce off this 0618, you could put a couple of bids in just down there and you would potentially see it come back up to the EMA right there. So that's a 10% sort of long trade that you could do in this boring action, sideways action for win. So that's basically it. At the minute, nothing else can say other than that it's going for a level of consolidation. You're sort of looking to retrace a little bit and fall down and test these lower levels just as support again, and then bounce around in here before you get that march onwards and upwards up to that previous high for win. Bit boring, bit flat, I know, but this is crypto and this is what happens, okay. When things go up so much, they have to cool down for a longer period of time there. So that's basically win. But I do still think it's going to go higher. Obviously, we have got that target up there that we have outlined in the channel there. So yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking golden for future price appreciation. At the moment, you're showing no signs, no signals of breaking down. You know what you might get as well is this sort of thing here. Look at the yellow line and the red line, okay, where it sort of goes along and it starts to come together. You're potentially looking at that, this sort of, if the price action gets caught underneath this yellow line and can't get back above it, which could potentially happen, okay, you start getting these lines coming close together, okay, and that sort of gives you the repel to push you back up, providing it doesn't go bearish where it performs a bearish cross, okay. I've taught you about the bearish crosses. You get this repel here, and then look what happens, you get the push up, which is you sort of get the push around there, the repel, and push you up to take out that high, just like you did there with that action when it pushed up off the repel there to push you up. So that's what you do. You just target previous price action in the charts to sort of get a gist of what's going to go and what's going to happen in the future. So that's win. I will keep you updated at all times on win, obviously, but trade safe and be strong. Stay safe and stay tuned, and I'll catch you in tomorrow's video. Bye bye.